Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Playroom by Metaspace Digital's the Zillennial edition. My name is Sammie Abati, and yes, we're live at Rhapsodies, and we're going to be discussing a very important topic today, something that, creates a buzz and something we've all been experiencing a whole lot lately. And I have here with me some amazing Zillennials. I have on my direct right, I have Sammie, and this is Humphrey, and that beautiful lady there is Funmi. And we're here to discuss a very juicy topic, something that is creating a buzz in Nigeria right now. So guys, I have a very brilliant question to ask every one of you. Okay. Who here has Japa plans? Don't lie, just who is prepping your Japa?
At this point, people can even have Japa plans that they don't know.
True.
Because everybody wants to know.
Honestly speaking.
Legit.
Everybody wants to Japa.
Japa. For me, it looks like. For me, is laughing in a way like, you guys don't know my flight is tomorrow. you know those kind of things, yeah? Just looking at you, ticket is booked. You have Japa plans. You never can tell.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll have to see you on the streets of London too. Alright, so who is to be blamed for the fact that almost every youth in Nigeria has an escape plan? Humphrey, what do you have to say about that? Who is to be blamed?
In my own opinion, based on my own opinion here, I feel like majority of the youth blame the government, for bad economy, bad education, bad roads, bad electricity, no water. But, the blame basically is facing the government. I don't think there's no much to it, just the government basically.
Okay. For a second, I thought you wanted to say but something else, and I'm like, say it, I'm gonna come at you, right? Funmi, what do you have to say about that?
I think I'm with Humphrey and Van, but this might be a very unpopular opinion. I think that there are always ways, even if it's not so great or not so easy, there are always ways to rise above and to, be whatever you want to be right now, even in this current economic situation. So that's my opinion.
So I'll take what she said as well, because I'm of that school of thought. So the thing is, everybody wants to blame the government. Everybody wants to push blame and say, oh, it's the government, it's this, it's that. But she said we can rise above the current situation of things, and there are still people that are still doing well with the current economic situation, with the know this, know that. I know you don't like what I'm saying, but that's the truth. And I'm also of the opinion that you don't need to, there are opportunities out there.
Yeah.
There are opportunities abroad. Everybody's going to the UK, everybody's going to Canada and all of that. But what I'm trying to say is, people can still stay in the country and still be useful and still be productive. On the other hand, I'm not saying tomorrow.
Let me be another.
He's actually making a point.
Okay.
Because he's making a point because you don't know maybe where you're going to is actually okay for you. Because everybody faces problems, countries face problems. Do you get? So you never can tell what you're going to meet out there. Thinking, in fact, Nigeria is blessed. I wouldn't lie. If you look at Nigeria, is blessed because there's something that goes on in Nigeria that are how will I put it? There's something that goes on in Nigeria that in other countries is way worse. It's true, it's way worse. It's just that we don't really get to hear all these things like that because we're not staying there.
You're not really liking our opinions.
Not at all. Because, if I'm going to be honest with you, there's a shallow way to look at it and there's an in-depth way to look at it. I feel like all three of you are definitely millennials. Do you understand? On your way out of millennials, I must even confess. Because if we're going to look at it on the surface, right? Yeah. We're talking about situations that people have no solutions to. Right. Do you understand? Japa, sometimes, the meaning of the word Japa is escape. Do you understand? Some people have been stuck on a spot, giving their best. Think about it. What you said as the excuse for, the government is that hold on. Okay, what you said as the solution.
He's trying to put words in your mouth.
Hold on. What you said, right, as your own school of thoughts as to why you might not Japa, yes? Does that work? It doesn't apply around the board. Do you understand? To be honest with you, I'm not desperate to Japa as well. Yeah? I'm not even interested at this point. Sounds very weird. I'm not interested at all, right? But it's because I'm in a certain standard or I have a certain level of living, standard of living. Do you understand what I'm saying? For someone who earns 30K in a month, he gets the opportunity to travel. He will be a very sick person to stay. Do you understand? So I feel like what you're saying qualifies or it describes a certain demographic of the economy, but it doesn't go across board. Do you understand? The only person that will not japa is somebody that has the money to stay. And these days, the unfortunate part is to even japa now is expensive.
Exactly.
Do you understand? So for me, I feel like I stand my ground to oppose all your schools of thoughts.
As I said,
Schools of thoughts.
based on what I've said, it doesn't mean tomorrow.
You won't japa. I'll see you in Manchester, bro. So another question that I would like you, sir, to answer is the grass really greener on the other side?
So it's two ways. I'm saying this not because I've lived outside there. I mean, I've visited and all of that. But I mean, based on what I've heard on social media, people that are living there, it's two ways. People go out there and suffer.
Normal.
And people in Nigeria are still funding them that are outside the country. Madness, I know, yeah, but it's the reality of life. And also, people have opportunities based on their soft skills, their knowledge. They go out there and thrive. So it's really based on, okay, what do you want for yourself? What are you going out there to do?
Yeah.
What do you have that you're going out
What
there
are your
to
plans?
offer? Exactly, plans basically. So you can go out there and succeed. You can go out there
And not succeed.
do you understand? So
But don't you think? Are you of the opinion that sometimes it's better to live, average life abroad
okay.
than
Yeah, because,
rich in Nigeria?
Yeah, I agree with you.
What do you think about that? Do you
agree
think it's better
You
to
know
live
that,
average life abroad?
Let me just give a typical example because there are some people that when they travel out, they wash toilets, they do some cleaning, they take care of children as a babysitter and they make more money. Plain truth, and they pay them per hour. They make more money than some people who are really working hard here in Nigeria.
But one question I'll ask you, they make more money based on which economy?
Based
Do you
on their
understand?
economy now.
So the only reason why you're thinking that is because you're converting to naira. Don't convert to naira.
Yeah.
Do you
convert to
understand?
naira.
Yeah.
What
Okay.
$5 will get you there, right?
Yeah.
If you earn that about the same amount, would it get you an equivalent in Nigeria? Because you know what the exchange rate is, right? They don't tax the same way.
Yeah.
Do you understand? I think the taxing is even something that we need to let more people be aware of. Taxing abroad is a different ballgame entirely. Do you understand? So I feel like, to buttress what he said, it's two ways. The grass is greener and the grass can be darker. Do you understand? The grass, legit, sometimes for a lot of people, is pure yellow, brown. Do you understand? Because you see some people go there, and then the recent rate of Japa has been crazy. And it has exposed us to the kind of lives that some people live when they travel. Right. Yeah, you see a lot of Nigerians out of accommodation. Yeah, active problem. I have a couple of friends that have been stranded, there was a recording I saw of not Nigerian necessarily, but African students abroad who were begging British nationals for a place to stay. And they were like, you know what, if it's the basement anywhere, please, we just need a place to stay for one night. Help us, this, that, we'll pay you, this is that. Do you understand? So that's what. And if you check these guys in Nigeria, that guy might have owned a 2-bedroom apartment, right? He might have been living comfortably. That's why I said I'm never going. Not on these circumstances. If I'm going as a baller. Do you understand?
To go and show them
No, I'll go and live my Nigerian lifestyle there. Do you get me? In Nigeria, you eat what you want, you go where you want, you do whatever you want when you have money. I'd rather have 20 million naira in Nigeria than go and struggle in that place. It's a crazy thing. So I totally understand that it's two ways, right? But in the end, grass is green now, it's brown. No? Everybody's impulsive move is to do what? It's to japa. I will always advise people, if you know that you do not have a plan to japa, don't japa. As a matter of fact, don't japa, relocate. There's a clear difference. Japa is escape, just run away, and go and do whatever you have to do to survive. Relocate means you have a clear-cut plan to move your entire life, business, everything about you to a totally different country and function effectively,
Yeah.
right? And then there's the last question. It's a very insightful one and it's a long one, so listen carefully. It says, among the emigrants, we have highly skilled professionals who go into other countries to dominate various sectors of the economy, right?
Yeah.
We celebrate our people who are winning in different specialties across the diaspora. But what happens to the economy and future of our nation? So I was hearing something a few days ago or earlier today about how the Nigerian Medical Association was reporting that
Everybody's moving.
all the doctors have gone. And I outrightly just said, I don't blame them, right? I can totally understand, but it's my perspective. What do you think about it, Humphrey?
Quite deep.
It's deep.
And I wouldn't blame anyone to share, because I mean, if you look at it, like I said earlier about the economy, it's quite shaky. So anybody can want to go, anybody can want to Japa, and so be it. I don't really have anything to say on that. So
But I feel it's that way because I mean these guys have gone through a process, like a schooling process. They've learned,
A training.
they've acquired knowledge. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And then they come into the Nigerian system to serve, to work, but at the same time they're getting peanuts.
Undervalued.
Do you understand? So if you go out with those qualifications, you're sound, knowledgeable, there's no way you won't thrive
Yeah,
outside the
yeah.
country. And at the same time, you are paid well.
Way better.
So I think
you're not paid in naira.
You're paid in, right? And you know,
You're not paid in naira.
this thing you said, there was a question I had a couple of months back, how that, so there's a particular university in Nigeria whose medical school costs about 3.5 million naira per session.
Nigeria.
Average, yes. Let me not cast them. Their logo has red, has blue. My sister goes there, so I have a beef, right? And then that uni charges about 3.5 million, about that per session,
That's per semester.
per year.
Okay, per year. Okay.
So, and they do about 6 years ish. So that's going towards 20 million already. And then that person comes out to earn 250K per month. How does that make any sense? So why am I investing more in my education to get a skill than that skill can get me? Because the idea of investment is that you get a higher
Yeah,
return.
you get more.
Do you understand? So it suddenly seems like schooling in Nigeria and working in Nigeria is bad investment. So I think that totally justifies, from my perspective, it totally justifies gaining the skills here and then moving out to be better valued. It just makes more sense to me.
Definitely does. I mean, the work environment. Obviously, I've heard that Nigerian doctors here in Nigeria have been super innovative because there's the lack of equipment, and you know, when they go there, they're like top notch because they can improvise, they can do stuff. And then the effect this has on our economy is that people, there's no domestic, what's that thing called? There's no money being generated domestically, so our GDP is always lower than our what we are borrowing. So we're always going to be in debt. We're always going to keep borrowing. And that is super bad because even the guys in government right now are not helping situations. I know it's a whole conversation, but we're recycling the same holes. We're in the same, I don't even know the words to say, but we're going like this.
We're all in
Moving in
circles.
circles.
Going in circles, and it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad, but then there's the other side of Nigerians that go out of Nigeria always remember home. So I think everyone is there. Let me rephrase that. A percentage of people in the diaspora are actually very interested in investing here.
Yeah.
It's just really the environment, the policy, the people in power.
The system.
Once that changes, I think that we're going to go here in Nigeria.
That's beautiful. And I think as a closing note, we're going to say that if you have to Japa, please Japa.
Run.
If you have to run,
Run.
and run as far and as fast as you can. But whatever you're doing while you're running, keep in mind that it's very essential for you to have steady plans, clear-cut plans. We have people who Japa and then travel to lose their lives. It's not worth it. It's not worth the suffering. You rather just live a comfortable life here than have to suffer and be a slave in another man's country. But if you have the capacity to go, by all means, my brethren, comrade, please move. Right? And is there anything else anyone would like to say as a closing note?
Nothing for me.
I think I just wanted to like chip in something. You said something like, if you want to Japa, if you have Japa. It just makes me remember like a story of a young boy that went under the plane, rather from Benin. If you can remember
Yeah,
that story,
I
a
heard
little boy.
I heard that
That went
thing.
under the plane because he was like really tired, you know, so he wanted to like just
And that's sad.
pick up.
That's sad. That's more of a sad event than an incriminating event. It's sad.
Yeah.
But that's where we are. Do you have any closing remarks? Any last things to
Like
say?
you said, plan appropriately. Plan if you want to travel, know what you want to do. If not, the grass is going to be very yellow.
Very brown.
Very
And funny. So guys, thank you so much, guys, and thank you for watching. And remember, this is Playroom by Metaspace Digital, and we look forward to having you view our next episode. Thank you very much, and have a beautiful time.